Happy to go. That's right.
It's Monday.
It's a Monday. A great weekend. Kudos to our weathermen for delivering on that nice weather.
It was lovely.
It was really lovely. It was.
Every weekend's different, though.
That's true. You just want to set expectations now. This morning, it's been in the news a lot lately. So we want to know, what do you think should happen to TikTok? And would you be upset if it ends up getting banned? Because it turns out, according to a new survey, nearly half of Americans are kind of on board with the whole idea of banning it.
So a new survey finds 42% openly support this TikTok ban. In fact, Larry is doing these dances. Anyway, in fact, most said the ban would have almost no impact on their life. And even though more than 40% of Gen Z admits they regularly use the app, 36% say they'd be okay getting rid of it. So again, comment below. Let us know, do you support this ban on TikTok? We did get a couple comments this morning during our morning broadcast. Both these people saying, no, don't ban it. I think it's a huge stress relief. I enjoy watching my favorite bands, nature, and comedians. And the other person saying, keep TikTok. Besides, freedom of speech. I can't cook. We've actually been making these edible dinners with TikTok.
An overwhelming response there.
Yes. A lot of you chiming in.
What's funny to me is, like, you can grow your following, like, massively on TikTok. I don't know what it is about the algorithm. I have like the most followers on TikTok, but ever since all of this has happened, I haven't posted anything on it. And honestly, I would be happy if the ban happened. I think more so because I love the idea of not having to even think about another social media account.
Well, it's also, I feel like TikTok more than all of them is the most addicting, because on Instagram, they're trying to do pretty much what TikTok's doing. You now have YouTube shorts that you can go through, but TikTok just has something about it that it draws you in, especially because it learns you so much better than the other one. So maybe people will get some time back.
There are
a lot of time back.
4.1 billion downloads.
That's crazy.
Billion? Wow.
Billion downloads. I was looking at some facts here. They made $14 billion last year.
That's a lot of money.
Wow.
Yes. That's the company, ByteDance.
So Melissa's saying, we have far more pressing issues in the country than social media sites. This is ridiculous. But I think the reason they're bringing it up is because of security concerns with China.
Chinese surveillance.
Yeah.
I do understand where Melissa's coming from, though, because there is a lot. And it seems like maybe this is the only thing that both sides of the aisle are agreeing on, because other than that.
Here's another fact. 11,000 foreign employees for that company work in the United States. 11,000 foreign work here in the United States for TikTok.
Not to mention the content creators that make a living off of it as well.
A lot of people,
That's the biggest problem, is you're actually taking jobs away from a lot of people. The people, their livelihood is on TikTok, that they might have other different type of things. So
watch what you say they're watching. TikTok is watching.
We're on TikTok right now.
Somebody in China's going, all right, I see what you're talking about over there. They're watching us.
Jake Springs saying, it's a social media app. If you don't like it, don't get on it. Fun times. Joy Mott, I don't use the app. I won't be sad if it's banned. Ooh, we're getting lots of comments now. John Kelly, and I'm reading these cold, which sometimes makes me nervous because I never know.
John Kelly's always good.
We love John Kelly. I think there are valid security concerns with the platform. It's a hard balance between security and free speech. I agree with Melissa Banks, though. It's a distraction from bigger issues such as inflation. And Clay saying, ban it. And I don't mean force China to sell it.
Just ban it.
Just ban it.
Yeah.
Because they are talking about, like, within the year, if they sold it to a company here in the United States, then it could stay.
Yeah, they've got in the next 9 months, they have to sell it to a U.S.-based company.
We also did a story, though.
That's not going to happen.
It could be held up in courts for who knows how long, because there's a lot of people that are going to be protesting it and things like that. So you might be a lot of legal tape leading up to this.
If they made $14 billion last year, why would they sell it? No. They would have to sell it for like $50 billion, some company. I can't imagine them selling it. So it may have to be banned. I don't know. I've never been on TikTok.
Yeah, I have been on.
You've been on my TikTok.
I've been on
I can say that I have been on TikTok. I can probably count on one hand the number of times I've been on TikTok.
I haven't looked at it in a long time.
And I will say I enjoyed it every time I was on it. Like I was like, oh, this is fun. Well, that's a cool dance. Or, oh, I didn't know that. Or that's a cool hack. But then I was like, I don't need another distraction.
Well,
and
it so easily sucks you in.
Totally did. And I totally could see the addiction part of it. And at that point, I'm like, put it down. You do not need any other distraction right now.
I'm not trying to be naive here, but I know that Facebook had a lot of problems with their security and stuff. Is this pretty much the same situation? The only difference is that it's China-based?
China.
Yeah, so...
I mean, surveillance.
Yeah, but I mean, that's a big difference, though. I mean,
it's a big... Of course it's a big difference.
What's going on, and, and everybody... Anyone who has TikTok, they can apparently... maybe, we're not sure if they can surveil all those who are on TikTok. Possibly
that's the concern.
Yeah.
I think China has said no, we don't. But and honestly, I don't know that any of us really are fully aware of the capabilities and what they can do and like what they can't do.
Everything, our information all over the
We're all
web.
being watched at any moment.
Absolutely.
You got a camera right there.
Oh my goodness. Has that been there the whole time?
Believe it or not, there's like 5 of them. Right there in front of you. So I mean, I'd be okay with it. But
I would too.
And I would actually say to Melissa, I would say there are certainly much bigger issues, more pressing issues. But I would say, just to be a contrarian, that
he loves to be a contrarian.
That I do think social media plays an outsized role in our society right now. And I think that addressing it in a variety of ways, TikTok is a very specific China-related thing, but the other ones, when it comes to mental health issues, when it comes to I do feel like there's a reckoning with social media. Each platform has its own issues, like I say, geopolitical for TikTok, but then the other ones have it. That there's going to either have to be regulation or you and I have talked about some landmark study that comes out in 2027 that says this is deadly for everyone. Well, something's going to have to happen because it's not sustainable.
With our kids, you have skyrocketing rates of depression, anxiety, suicide. And, I mean, they've done stories recently on the Today Show about how they're seeing a correlation with social media and how kids spend endless amounts of time scrolling, comparing themselves to others and not being happy with their own life.
In reality, every single bit of this starts at home with the parents. If the parents are doing it, the kids mock them.
Very true.
So I think, let's not be hypocritical. If we're going to take this away from kids, parents need to have to take responsibility of not spending every moment on that. Put it down, walk away, turn it off.
That's very true.
Because when the kids start seeing that, then they will do it. Right now, parents, that's all they're doing. So I put full blame. It starts right at the top. If you don't teach your kids, it's not going to happen. So it all falls right back on the adults. Don't blame the kids. Starts with them.
That's why.
First of all, you're the parent that gave them that. Why did you give it to them?
No, that's why. I mean. I think kids are the biggest concern because they're the most vulnerable. But as we always say, I mean, this affects
everyone.
Grown-ups, as Chris Mulcahy just demonstrated, everybody's susceptible to their addictive properties. You know, I mean, and I think you don't have to be a kid to realize its effect on your mental health and everything else. It's. I mean, I feel like we talk about it almost every day during the broadcast.
Very true.
All right, folks, chime in. Let us know what you think. What should happen to TikTok, and are you okay with it? We'll see you back here tomorrow.